I'm Tumelo Khoza. I am a 23-year-old poet and au pair from South Africa. And the reason why I chose to be an au pair, there are a number of reasons actually, and the main one being the love that I have for children. Prior to being an au pair, I had this idea about what loving children is about. Are they cute? Are they so cuddly? And you want to hold them all the time. And since I became an au pair, I realized that, they're like the other gritty stuff that you don't really get to experience if you are far away from children, or if you see children once in a while or once in a blue moon. So being here with the family that I'm with at the moment, I realized that loving children means that you love them unconditionally. Because sometimes children will do things that you don't get as an adult. And they wouldn't get why you don't get it, since they're 2 years old or whatever, and you're like, no, don't do that. And they're going to give you that why look, and you have to explain. You don't do that because if you do that, it will be harmful to your brother or to your sister, or actually you might get germs if you touch that, or actually don't eat your snot because it's not good. But it tastes good. So I realized that, so much goes into loving children. You have to love children when they cry for nothing. You have to show them love. You have to love children when they wake up screaming for their mother, who's probably only coming back from work 5 hours from the time that they wake up or less. And you have to just hold them. You have to love children when you yourself are not feeling good, because sometimes it's hard. It's hard to be so far away from home. And you have to, first of all, deal with the fact that you've got homesickness, deal with the fact that you've got chores to do. Or if you're sick, it's even worse. If you're sick, you're feeling down, you want nothing but your mom or your grandmother or your baby sister at home, and they're not around. And you have to love the children that you care for through that. So it's like walking through a forest, and you just need to trust the fact that you'll see the light and you'll find the path. So that's where it all started from that love for children, which I have found has taught me so much, not just about kids in general, but the children that I care for and myself. And it's been such a pleasure to be around them. They're funny, they educate me, they are full of life every time, they are forgiving, they are loving themselves. So this love that I'm giving off as well is being reciprocated, which for me is the most important thing. And I feel like children do that effortlessly. They do it without effort, and it's so rewarding to be reminded that love can be unconditional, and who else knows better than children of that fact. Part of being an au pair, or my wanting to be an au pair, had a lot to do with the traveling opportunity, which is part of, the bonus. I remember I once had a conversation with a lady who asked me, so is this part of your American dream? And I was like, no, actually, this is part of my African dream. So having this African dream, or being this African, and wanting to see other parts of the world, being an au pair has given me that opportunity to interact with people from different walks of life, different cultures, different backgrounds. I've made friends with Mexicans, I've made friends with people from France, from Germany. So it's been an exchange kind of setup, which is just so easy to be part of, and if it wasn't for the opportunity to au pair, I would have not met such a rainbow of people from different parts of the world, and we'd understand each other, speak about our home countries, the holidays that we have at home, and how life is like from our parts of the world, and also learn from each other, from the different backgrounds that we all have. And on a personal level, the reason why I decided to be an au pair was it felt as though, on a personal level, like my life at home, which was very interesting, I won't lie, I had a good job, I had good friends, very good friends, good career as an artist, But there seemed to be a sense of monotony that I found there, and it felt like, okay, I know where I'm going, I know where I want to go, but it just seems like a straight line. I want the zigzag, I want the circle, I want to be a rectangle. I want to stretch myself and stretch my abilities. I want to challenge myself. So it was probably one of the biggest decisions that I had to make and stick to. Making a decision is easy. You can just say, okay, I'm going to the moon. All right, now, what do I need? And what you need is how you stick to the decision that you make. So I had to be away from home, and being away from home seems nice and dandy in the beginning. Going overseas, yay! But you don't think about what you're going to do when you get there, So having stayed here for the couple of months that I've been here has been part of that, of making a decision and sticking to it, regardless of what happens, what challenges arise, and such. So it has matured me as an individual. So I'm this young woman who is experiencing life and the world, and sticking to this decision that I've made and making the most of it, because that's another part of it. If we don't make the most of it, we will be depressed, we'll feel homesick all the time, we will not find joy in being around the children we care for and the like. So it was that for me as well, just growing as an individual and having stories to tell, learning from the kids, learning from my host parents, learning from the friends that I do make, the interactions that I do make, and it's just been fruitful. It's been a fruitful experience thus far, which was anticipated prior to my arrival, but it's just been so much more. It's been what was expected and so much more. So that also adds to my next point, growth, personal growth. I needed to get out of my comfort zone, because I worked in a corporate environment, which you may add to this interview. I worked in a corporate environment, so it was nothing like the environment that I'm working in now. So I needed to get out of my comfort zone and see how I am outside of that comfort zone, and finding a way to settle, finding a way to adapt, and then finding a way to grow. It's like pollination. You jump from this one plant and you land into another, and you see what you can do there. So it's been a very fruitful experience, a rewarding experience, one with nothing but light throughout.